Topic 6.3. In this topic, we will be dealing with numbers that are greater than 100 or less than 1, and we'll be seeing how we can convert them to percentage, to decimals, or to fractions. Okay. Some questions were already done in class. Due to shortage of time, I'll be solving them here on video and sharing it with you. Now, the question is a bit long form, written with lots of irrelevant things that might be given just as an information, but that won't make a difference or won't help us in solving the question. So, I have summarized whatever is written in the book on the left hand side, okay, to my OneNote, to my note on the right hand side. You can pause the video, okay, for every question. Read the question from the textbook that is on the left hand side of this video. I try to understand and then compare it with whatever I have written in reading on the right side and see if it's making sense to you. Okay. So question 17 can be summarized as write 7 over 10 as a decimal and as a fraction. 7, I will start with writing 7 over 10 as a decimal. Okay. Sorry, I will start to write 7 over 10 as a decimal. So 7 over 10%, 7 over 10%, I have taught you 7 over 10 when you're dividing a number by tens or hundreds or thousands, the decimal simply jumps to the left, and the number of jumps that the decimal takes depends on the number of zero that the denominator has at the end. Okay. So here we have 7 over 10, so we can write it as we can write it as 0.7%, because 7 over 10 is same as 0.7. Now, so this is my answer in percent. Now, if I want to convert this to fractions, okay, I want to convert this to fractions. I will say it is 0.7 over 100, correct? Because I know 7%, when I were going to say 7%, I write it as 7 over 100. So when it is 0.7%, when it is 0.7%, it will be 0.7 over 100, okay? So you have here 0.7 over 100. Now I want to convert it to decimal. As I just said, the decimal here in this case will jump 2 digits to the left. So I will have 7, okay, and the 2 zeros, okay, and then from here my decimal is jumping 1, 2, right? So my answer is 0.007, okay, in decimals. Okay, so I have done the first part, which is converting it into decimals. Okay, now I'll see how I can convert this 0.7 over 100 to a fraction. It is already a fraction, but I'll try to get rid of the decimals. So 0.7 over 100, I can write this as 0.7 times 1 over 100, correct? Because it's if you multiply this, you will still get 0.7 over 100, but I write it this way so that I can convert this 0.7 to 7 over 10, which it was initially, and then I multiply it with 1 over 100, correct? And when I multiply this, what I get is 7 times 1 is 7 over 10 times 100 is 1000. So this is my answer in decimals, and this is my answer in fraction. Okay. Now let's look at question 19. Again, you can take your time to read question 19 and the things that are written here, which are good to know, but not really a must to know for me to solve the questions. In order to solve the questions, you can simply summarize the questions to be write 105% as a fraction and as a decimal. So when it is 105% as a decimal, I'll start with that one. So I will write 105% as 105 over 100, correct? Now 105 over 100, when you convert it to decimals, I know 105 is same as 105.00, right? But we don't write 105.00 because that doesn't make a difference. But here I just explained to you why I want it to be written as 1.105.00, so that when I give the decimals 2 jumps to the left, no one has doubt, Mister, from where did you get the decimal on the left hand side? So what you will get here is 1.05 as your answer in decimals. And to convert it as fraction, now 105 over 100 is already a fraction form. But whenever you have something in fraction, you must always look into simplifying it if there is a chance. Now here I have my ending numbers as 5 and 0. So whenever any number that ends with 5 or 0, for sure you can divide it by 100. And when I divide 105 by 100, when I divide 105 over 100, the numerators and denominators I divide by 5. So for the numerator, I will get 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, you can actually do the division separately if you would like to check, and you will see that you get 21. And 100 divide by 5, 5 times 2 is 10, and 0. So after simplifying, my answer is 21 over 20. So this is your answer. So this is the answer when you convert it to decimal, and this is your answer after simplifying when you convert it to fractions. Now let's go. Okay, so you can take your time to read the question on the left hand side of the screen, but you will see that it can be summarized to simply, can we write 108% as 10.8 and why? So let us see what happens when we convert 108% to decimal. So 108% can be written as 108 over 100, and I already showed you that 108 over 100 is same as 1.08, or let me show you. 108% actually means 108.00. So you have the decimal that will make 2 jumps to the left. Okay, 2 jumps to the left because you're dividing by 100. 100 has 2 zeros, so your answer will be 1.08. And these 2 zeros you don't need to write because it doesn't make a difference. You can just say the answer in decimal is 1.08. So can we write 108 as 10.8? Your answer is no, because it is 108 and not 10.8. Okay. Okay, question 23. After you have finished reading on the left hand side, it can be summarized as write 0.4% as a fraction, and is it same as 4 over 10? So I am going to convert 0.4% to fractions. So 0.4% can be written as 0.4 over 100. 0.4 over 100 can be, let me make it divided into 2 parts, can be written as 0.4 times 1 over 100, because if you multiply this you will get 0.4 over 100. So I can write it like this. Now I already know 0.4, I can write it as 4 over 10, because 4 over 10, if you convert it to decimals, you will get 0.4, and times 1 over 100, I keep it as it is. When you multiply these two numbers, these two fractions, 4 times 1 will give you 4, 10 times 100 is 1000. So 0.4%, actually in fraction it is 4 over 1000, and it's not 4 over 10. Okay. Question 25 can be summarized as what is 635% of 16? So 635%, when it means 635 over 100, and of is always times, 16. So, boys, my advice to you, whenever you have a fraction multiplied by a whole number and the fraction's denominator is a multiple of 10, which means either it is 10, 100,000, 10,000 and so on, always multiply the numerator. So here I will multiply 635 times 16. When I multiply 635 times 16, I get 10160 over 100. Okay, 10,160 divided by 100 will give you, let me do it here, will give you, I will write 10160, and the decimal will jump from here 2 digits to the left because you are dividing. When you multiply, it will jump to the right. So here 1, 2. So my answer is 101.6. Okay, and 1 meter long. So I will add the units, which is mm, means millimeter. Again, question 26 can be summarized as what is 159% of 100. So as we did before, 159% means 159 over 100. Okay, of, whenever you have 159% of 100, 16% of 100, 35% of 100, you just change it to multiplication and you keep the 100 as it is. Now here you can see you can divide 100 by 100, it will give you 1. Your answer will be 159, or as I told in the previous question, you multiply the numerator. So even if you do that, you will get 159 and 2 zeros over 100, and when you divide it by 100, the 2 zeros will cancel and the answer will still be the same as 159. Okay, so your answer here is 159. So the weight of the adult male panther is 159 pounds. Okay, question 27 again had some text. I just erased it on the left hand side. I kept only the relevant text that we need, which is select all the fractions and decimals that can be expressed as 0.32%. So let's check if the first case is true. 0.32% can be written as 0.32 over 100. Okay, boys, let me give you a short way if you don't want to go into complication, a small trick. But in the previous questions, I explained to you the logic of why that happens. So whenever you have a number in decimal over 10, 100,000, and you want to remove the decimal, so what you simply do is the numerator, you write it as it is, 32, and to move the decimals on the right, you need to make 2 jumps, correct? In this case, 2 jumps to the right, the decimal makes 2 jumps to the right, like this. Then it changes to 32. So when it changes to 32, when you make 2 jumps to the right, you simply add 2 zeros in the denominator. Okay, so this is an easy way of remembering, if you can, to convert percentages which are in decimals into something over 10, 100,000, something like that. Okay, so here you have 32 over 10,000. So definitely your first option is cancelled out. Now you have 32 over 10,000. Let us see if we can simplify it to simplify it. Let's see if the second case is possible. Now 32 and 2. 32 divided by 2 is 16. So I can say 32 can be divided by 16. Okay, but can I divide 10,000 by 32? Can I divide 10,000 by 32? Let me check. Now if you look on the left hand side, they have given us the option of 2 over 625, and I don't know if I can divide 16, I can divide 10,000 by 16. So what I'll do is, even if I'm able to divide, I must get the denominator 625 to make this case true, correct? So I'll take a shortcut, which is I will multiply 625 times 16, and it must give me 10,000, okay? 6 times so when I multiply, I found out 6 times 625 times 16 is 10,000, which means I can divide 10,000 by 10,000 as well by 16. So no need to do this division. So 16 times 2 is 32. So my numerator changes to 2, and the denominator 10,000 divided by 16 changes to 625. So the second option is correct. Okay, now I was having the fraction, initial fraction, as 32 over 10,000. Okay, and I want to see if it's same as 0.0032. So to convert 32 over 10,000 to decimals, you see there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So I must definitely have 4 digits before I put the decimal. So I kept the 4 digits as it is. I wrote the 32 as it is, and on the left hand side of 32 I added 2 zeros. Now I have 4 digit, I add the 0. I add the decimal and I have a 0 here. And if you want to check, you can check that initially the decimal was here, 32.0, right? So decimal was here. So from here I make 4 jumps, 1, 2, 3, 4. So definitely it will be 0.32. Okay, so this is correct. So 32 over 10,000 is same as 0.0032, which is correct. Now let us check if 32 over 10,000 is same as 8 over 2,500. Now I can definitely divide 32 by 4, and I will get the numerator as 8. Now I need to check if 2,500 divide 2,500 times 4, 0, 0, 4 times 5 is 28, 10. Oh, it's 10,000, correct. So I can divide 10,000 by 4, and I will get 10,000 divided by 4 as 2,500. Okay, boys, you know, let's say 32 divided by 4 is 8, correct? It means 8 times 4, 8 times 4 as 32, and it also means 32 divided by 8 is 4. I use the same logic here and here. Okay, so I'll erase this. Okay, so 32 divided by 4 and 10,000 divided by 4 gives me 8 over 2,500. So even this option is correct. Okay, let's check now. 8 we already saw 32 over 10,000 is 0.0032. So definitely this option is wrong. So what we get are the above correct options. So that's the answer for 27, and we are done with the topic. Thank you.